Hi, everyone. So today we're just going to be talking about the final portfolio projects, the expectations and point values of everything going in that. So let's get that switched over to a screen. Yeah, so what is the final portfolio? We'll be covering that in a second because I do want to go over our due dates coming up soon. So again, on the 22nd before midnight, we have the polished draft of our current paper along with its reflection. A good meaty paragraph or two, just covering your writing process, your struggles, things you want to discuss that may have affected your overall work, and what you need to know of going forward, just what you want to work on, or what you think it's important to know for later on. And then after that, on the 27th and 29th, we'll be doing our presentations over the multimodal portion of our projects. Like I've said, if you want me to look at an early sort of draft of your project, I can give you some feedback on that as well. Just email me. It's the best I can say for right now. You can schedule a meeting with me otherwise. Yeah, and going on. So the 4th and 6th are when you'll be having your portfolio submissions. We're supposed to be doing individual meetings, but that doesn't seem necessary. So with the 4th and the 6th, I'll get back with you over what we're going to be doing with that. And along with that, these are kind of like your, I want to say, kind of your rough draft bits of your portfolios, so that you can still make sure all the pagination is correct and that everything fits in order, because I had made a huge error over talking about the portfolio project in the past. We'll cover that shortly. But yeah, so that's what you got going on right now. So what is the final portfolio? Back to this. The final portfolio tasks you with collecting all of your writings from the semester and then putting it into one place. After compiling each draft and reflection, you will then write over and reflect upon your work from the semester. Overall, how you have your perceptions of the course changed? How have you changed as a writer? And how do you feel about future writing assignments? In other classes, is there any bleed over? Do you think you're a little more prepared now? Do you think you're less prepared or worried about your own writing style now? Just what's gone on this semester. I have this split into a few slides, but the portfolio parts. So first thing you're going to need is a title page. I'll give you an example of the title page in just a moment, but you're going to want a title page. And then unfortunately, looking over some drafts again, you will need a table of contents. So I will be teaching you today, after I cover the portfolio parts, how to do a table of contents in Word, and then I'll figure out how to do it on Google Docs and show you in the future video how to do that. After that, you're going to have the writer's reflect portion of your reflection. This is your final reflection. It's worth 50 points. It's the biggest chunk of new stuff that's coming in with the portfolio, and it's going to be about 2 pages. You're just going to be discussing in this reflection just all of your work throughout the semester. We do have some examples of that in a book that we'll be covering later, but that is page like 159 of Pack Prints if you want to look at it now. Otherwise, the next section is going to be Unit 1. It's going to be 20 points for having your rough draft of your paper, 20 more points for having a polished or updated draft. If you do an updated draft, this is your chance to have this regraded if you weren't happy with your original grade. And then 10 points for including the reflection after that. Then it's Unit 2, which looks just like Unit 1. So 20 points for the rough draft, 20 points for the polished / updated draft, and 10 points for the reflection. Unit 3, the written version of your paper, that's 20 points for the rough draft, 20 points for the polished or updated draft. If you have some sort of image of the multimodal portion of your project, you'd include it after this. If not, that's okay, because if you probably did a video or something. And then 10 points for the reflection for that unit. So the biggest purpose of the portfolio, like I've said earlier, it's definitely to be aware of how much work a person has done when projects or papers are done in small chunks. It's definitely to be a bit aware. Oh, no. I even restarted this recording earlier because I had an error in it, but we got this again. It's definitely hard to be aware of how much work a person's done when projects or papers are done in small chunks. All of your projects have been like 3 to 4 page chunks, some of them 6 pages. So altogether, you've had like 18 to 20 pages of just things you've typed up. So that's something to be proud of. But a portfolio helps you compile and examine your work as a whole, as a way to examine the progress you've had in a semester. Yeah, so it's like once you've actually gone over and ignore this image, it's crap. Once you've actually gone over and looked at the your first writings, which is just a narrative, so it's going to look different than the rest compared to what you've done otherwise. You may also be rekindled by the struggles you went through originally versus the final product. If you wrote something that you thought was a huge stinker and turned out all right, that's a little victory. But if you wanted to do a little better, this is also your chance to do that as well. But so for the portfolio, it's going to look a little bit like this. We have this big empty page here. It's going to be our table of contents in just a minute. And on the title page, it's just going to be Writers Reflect about 3/4 of the way, about 1/4 or 1/3 of the way down the page, followed by a few line breaks, and then your name, of course, my name, and then the date that it's due, which I have on the 6th of May. Then you leave this page blank for the moment, so this is because we're going to have our table of contents. And I didn't have a lot of usable essays that I could use. Usable essays from this semester personally, of my own, because I didn't want to put any of yours up on here. So I have a short story that I've been working on for advanced creative writing that I just added a heading to, and then just broke up into little sections so we can pretend it's like a paper. Anyway, so what you're going to do, in Word, you have this heading thing up here. You want to make sure heading 1 or heading 2 are up here. Maybe not so much heading 2, but you want to make sure at least heading 1 is here. If it's saying like heading 7, then something's gone wrong. But anyway, so highlight your title. You're not going to change your text at all, but right-click heading 1. Update heading 1 to match selection. Done. So this is now for the rest of this document permanently like this. So you don't do this part again. But let's make sure this is heading 1 is applied to here. You see this little arrow icon that you can now click on. So let's go further down to the next where I broke up with another title, and just click heading 1 when you've highlighted your title here. And then we're going to go on to the next section and do that there again as well. I should have also done one for the reflection, but we're going to pretend the reflection is there. Anyway, so that we've got this, ignore the rest of all this. We'll come up to this blank page that we have. I'm going to hit this paragraph symbol because I don't want to see this page break because I don't want to mess it up. So let's get this out of the way. Anyway, so go to insert. No, this is actually going to be, I could swear it was insert. Oh, okay, references. Okay, we're going to go to references, table of contents, just do automatic table 1. And then you'll see here, everything that we put in there. Let's get this off of here. It's now showing up the table of contents. This has contents in blue text. That's completely different from your text. Get rid of this. Make this just normal. Make this 14-point font actually. Bold it, center it, change it back to black. I don't want any of that blue crap. Table of contents. And now that I look at that, I'm sorry. 12-point, not bold. So yeah, 12-point font for the table of contents. You do not want a number to appear on your title page. Preferably, you don't want a number to appear that's not Roman numeral on your table of contents. But we're going to see if we can do this properly. So first off, you want to go to your table of contents again. This part's going to be a little strange. I'm going to put this on here just to make sure I'm doing things correctly. You want to go and do insert on this page. We're not doing a page break. You could do a page break if you just want to start the next page without doing like a bunch of different line breaks going along. But then where is it? Did it again. Lost it again. Could swear it was like right here in this break, but I am missing it. But there is a different way to look up some of these things. 1 second. Ugh. 1 second. Okay. I was just overlooking it. I was getting frustrated. But yeah, so you're going to go to layout, and then you're going to see breaks here, and we're going to select one of these breaks. You want to do a section break for the next page. So we can get rid of this page break here. Ignore what just happens here because we're just breaking things. And when we hit next page, it's going to do that, and we have a section break here. So this means two things are going to happen. For one, when we put in our page number at the top, we're going to have the opportunity to make it a little bit different. So first, you want a different first page because you don't want a page number here. So as you can see, that's now gone. Secondly, you want to format the page number on the second page by right-clicking it. Say start at 1, but we want to go to Roman numerals if you want to do this correctly. Roman numerals, put a 1 in there. I guess it's unavoidable. We're going to get the Roman numeral 2 here. So we'll just deal with that because it does seem correct. Anyway, so we'll see here on this page, it's still 3. So formatted number again, right click, start at 1. We're not continuing from the previous section. And so now we have page numbers all dealing with just this section. Now, as you can see, hitting this little paragraph icon lets you see any sort of spacings in it. So that's why you see all this extra stuff around my document for line breaks, spaces, and so forth. So if we turn it off, they're gone. It's just so that you can see where the section break is. That's what's most useful. And we want to do one more thing since we've just formatted this. We want to update the field, excuse me. Just update the page numbers only. So then you'll see we have this nicer looking table of contents. It's kind of small. Detailing the stuff that's in this document. You'll have 4 sections in yours since you'll have the writers reflect, then your unit 1, your unit 2, and so on. You can take it a step further for your portfolio. Since I want everything in it, you can do each draft as a listing in your table of contents. But as long as it's clear, that should be okay. Just as long as you try to make this as neat looking or as professional looking as possible, that's the ideal thing. And this way you can actually see just all of your work just in one place. Ideally, of course, you'll be doing this on Google Docs so that you don't lose anything. But since these are all existing works of yours already, that's not exactly necessary, but at least still upload it to Google Docs. Don't email it to me because I can't email you grades, and so on. So we're not saving this. So yeah, so that's quickly-ish how to make a table of contents. What I expect from the portfolios. And then this weekend, no. On Friday, I will send out a sign-up sheet for, oh wait, no. I've already created a sign-up sheet for this class. I just didn't share it with everybody. I don't know what happened there, so let's go to papers and shit. I have fun names for all my stuff. Let's go to sheets. Let me get this thing out of my way. Stop it. So I have a copy of a conference sheet. I feel like I finished this. Yeah. So I'm gonna share a link of this. I could have swore I'd done all this. with you when I give you the link to this video, so you'll have that. Additionally, one more thing, since that's going to be Monday, not everybody wants a meeting with me Monday, but that's what my time will be devoted to doing on Monday. However, with Wednesday, I'm not going to have us meet together. We'll be doing that Friday. We'll meet and we'll discuss reflective writing and the revision process, which is from Pack Prints. So we'll be covering that. However, with Wednesday, I realize that I have been pretty lenient or suggestive of the type of language that you use in your essays. I'm okay with everything being pretty much informal because I wanted you to work on your writing styles before you try to do something even more difficult by altering your language to sound super professional. However, it's kind of also a disservice to you going forward because you may have professors who really want you to be as formal as possible. So with Wednesday, I'll be making a video over, formal guidelines and expectations of essays in the university with a capital U for some reason. So I'll be making a video over that. So I'll be going over formal language, how to get around using contractions, how to inflate your language without coming off as either too pretentious or too much like you're relying on synonyms. I'll be trying that as much as possible, but the biggest suggestion there is to read more of the crap that people are shoving at you and then try to mock those styles until it's part of your own. I'm very much a code meshing person, so mixing in your own ways of speaking with a professional language is a good way to stand out. So I'm hopefully going to be teaching you some of the standards, crappy standards of the university, moving on. Anyway, so that's all I have for you today. It's so short that that's exactly why I didn't want to meet with you. Another thing, just so that we have the list of due dates on here again, which I closed out of it because I forgot that I've been doing beginning and ending of the video things. Due dates. We are finished with our workshop, finished with the rough draft. So the polished draft are due on Wednesday. We're doing our presentations the next week. So remember, Monday meetings, Wednesday formal guidelines, and Friday meeting in class, discuss in further detail the portfolio process and going over the Writers Reflect sample for an overall reflection of the semester, which is supposed to be 2 pages. So if you're worried about that, don't be. That I will not be grading you at all on the reflection portion of it, like as I have been, with your grammar or usage or the style of language that you use. If you want to curse about it, go for it. Just whatever you're comfortable with, just to get to that about 2-page mark, which is 1 3/4 pages ideally. But yeah, so that's all I have for you. If you do want that conference with me Monday, sign up on here. Choose a time that will work for you. Anytime between 10 a.m. and 2 a.m. As I clarify there, that's not a typo. So into Tuesday morning, 2 a.m. I'm up late usually anyway. So yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll see some of you on Monday. And some of you may see me on Wednesday. And then I'll see you all on Friday. Although I won't be looking at you, I'll be looking at a black box on your Zoom screen. Because nobody wants there to be anything else to look at on the screen, just my ugly mug with something on the screen in the background, because that's how we do things, I guess. It's okay. I'm not getting on to you. I'm just talking too much. Have a great day. Enjoy your weekend.